And I guarantee you that by the time we come back tomorrow, they will have plotted other things to ensure that they keep me perpetually behind bars. But that's not a problem.
That the case file was transferred from the office of the Commissioner of Police City Abuja to the office of the DIG yesterday. Now, in service, the moment you request for a case file of a suspect and the case file was officially transferred to you, it is assumed that you've taken over responsibility in that particular matter. So when I spoke with the Commissioner of Police this morning and the prosecutors and the IPO, they did inform me that the first CID has taken over the matter officially. So on that basis, they say they don't have a vehicle to convey Mr. Sowore and the other defendants to court to listen to their bail, to the ruling on their bail application. Now, we took our time to also reach out to the authorities at the first CID in asking them that since they've taken over this case file officially from the Commissioner of Police, how would the defendants be brought to court for them to hear their bail applications? And they said it is not in their place, that the case is still not their case, that they are not interested in the case of Mr. Sowore because of the political or charged nature of the particular matter.
Wow, but if you that is a person of interest is being attacked inside the government establishment, then who is safe?
That's exactly the point. That's exactly the point. That is why we can't afford to give up. You know, if somebody told me that in 2021 my nose will be broken by policemen simply because even engaging in what my rights are, which is protest or assembly of any kind, I will not believe it.
I think there's a misunderstanding of your intent, which is actually what you're suffering. I would use this medium to say, please, we want you to speak outside, not behind bars. We want you to speak outside the bars, and that would be the best for everyone.
No, it's not my choice. Yeah, it's not my choice. My choice, the only choice I have is to keep speaking. That's the one I can control. As to where I can speak, those ones are bound by situational variables. So if it's behind bars, I'll keep speaking. If it's outside, I'll keep speaking. I'm behind bars. I'm awaiting transfer to a prison.
Wow. So are they giving you certain demands for you to stop talking?
No, we just finished the case. The judge said I should go to prison until we apply for bail tomorrow. And I guarantee you that by the time we come back tomorrow, they will have plotted other things to ensure that they keep me perpetually behind bars. But that's not a problem. What will be a problem is when you stop hearing from me. Or if I give up without achieving those things that we have set out to achieve. And one of it is total liberation for people in this country, so that this kind of rubbish don't happen anymore, that people protest or they complain, they clamp them into jail. The kind of mentality that makes people in government, whether in police, army, DSS, or the presidency, to think that the only way to solve this kind of problem is to clamp people into jail has to be totally eradicated.
Wow, but with what you just explained now, I reiterate again, it doesn't seem like you're calling for anarchy, but the stories are out there being you're trying to topple this, you're trying to topple
We are in a state of anarchy, you know. Governance in this country is anarchy. So anybody calling for a change of government or change of attitude is the one that is seen as being an anarchist. Whereas the real people are the government. The person who picks on a citizen and breaks their nose because they are protesting is an anarchist. It's a lawless character because they can't even defend it. You saw, if you were in court today, they were denying it, that they never touched us. It's not true that anything happened. So there's people in government that are anarchists in Nigeria. But the issue is not to even over-label what I am. I think history will decide for the future of who am I, or who I should be, or how I should be addressed. No, don't worry about how I'm labeled. They will keep since I was in the university, they labeled me all kinds of things as it suits their temperament. So, and within a short period of my lifespan, I've been through 7 presidents in this country. 7. Some of them military, some of them civilian. They all have the same characteristics.
You are his counsel. When's the client coming?
At the moment, Mr. Sowore and the other 4 defendants are still being held at the 4th CID area 10 Gerke Abuja as we speak. There have been underground moves and shenanigan moves by the authorities in Nigeria as of today there are serious allegations that there are attempts to undermine judicial process. The reason being this, and why we agitated about this, is this. The bail application, the ruling on the bail application was adjourned till today. Definite. Now, upon our application, we had requested that Mr. Sowore and the other 4 detainees be remanded at the 4th CID, Area 10 Gerke Abuja, for very obvious reasons. While they were there at Kuje, the conditions upon which they were detained were not acceptable to us. Now, this morning while we were in court, we made attempt at reaching out to the authorities to ask that Mr. Sowore be brought to court for him to listen or to hear the conditions upon which his bail would be considered, probably in his favor or in whatever manner the judge decides it. But this morning we were informed and we were shown copies of documents, signals from the office, first from the office of the DIG, requesting for the case file of Mr. Sowore from the office of the Commissioner of Police of City Abuja. Now, we are told reliably that the case file was transferred from the office of the Commissioner of Police of City Abuja to the office of the DIG yesterday. Now, in service, the moment you request for a case file of a suspect and the case file was officially transferred to you, it is assumed that you've taken over responsibility in that particular matter. So when I spoke with the Commissioner of Police this morning and the prosecutors and the IPO, they did inform me that the 4th CID has taken over the matter officially. So on that basis, they say they don't have a vehicle to convey Mr. Sowore and the other defendants to court to listen to their bail, to the ruling on their bail application. Now, we took our time to also reach out to the authorities at the 4th CID in asking them that since they've taken over this case file officially from the Commissioner of Police, how would the defendants be brought to court for them to hear their bail applications? And they said it is not in their place, that the case is still not their case, that they are not interested in the case of Mr. Sowore because of the political or charged nature of the particular matter. Now, this morning, they also brought before the courts another signal from the office of the Honorable Attorney General of the Federation mandating the office of the DPP to take over the case file from the police. Now, it means that the DPP are the persons who are now responsible for prosecuting this particular case. So, although this morning, as early as 9 a.m., we already have police lawyers from the office of the Honorable Commissioner of Police in court, ready to listen and hear the bail ruling on Mr. Sowore's application and the other 4 persons. But so far to this morning, there's been nothing from the office of the DPP, and there is no lawyer from his office to represent the government in this particular case, since they're taking over the case in question. But so far, the court has also requested that since the ruling is for the defendants, and since the ruling is since the application was made on their behalf, that it is expedient, it conforms with the law that they be brought to court this morning to listen and hear the order for their bail applications. So the judge has requested that the defendants in this particular matter be brought to court for them to listen to the conditions of bail, if or the consideration of their bail application. But so far so good, we are here and there has been no presence. We are yet to see the defendant in this particular matter, and we are still asking and agitated. But we have been informed, and we have information that there are attempts to do certain things I don't want to disclose at this moment, but we are still here waiting for them to bring Mr. Sowore to
the ruling may be given.
But can the ruling go
we have made the application to the court, and the court has made certain observations which we also agree with. That, but of all our worship said, the very vital one that we think we should bring to the fore at this moment is that it is the right of the defendants to hear the ruling, because the application is their application. So if it will not conform to their right of fair hearing and other considerations for the defendants to be detained, taken away. We've had similar experiences in the past where we had the court of competent jurisdiction grant Mr. Sowore bail, and the DSS refused to release him. So I think the judge is also being very, very careful at this stage. And what the judge is saying is bring the defendants to court so they could hear the ruling for their bail application.
So
and
that
that is what
means
she
without
has
the
asked for.
defendant in court,
She has-
there won't be
she has-
ruling.
she said she was not going to give any ruling until they bring Mr. Sowore to court. And today being Friday, today is a half day, today is Friday, and she said if they don't bring Mr. Sowore before the hours of 1 p.m., she might be forced to close the court for the day. So I think that will also point to the fact that is the point, or that is the aim of the government, to see that the ruling does not take place in the first place, and that it frustrates the whole proceeding for today. So, but we're still here waiting.
So with this,
We're very optimistic that the authorities will do the needful by bringing Mr. Sowore and other defendants to court, which is their right to have their day in court. They've filed charges. We have a lot of well, it's the right of the government it's their right to be brought to court. So we're expecting and we're hopeful that they'll be brought to court. But otherwise, if they fail to bring Mr. Sowore and the other defendants to court today, we will meet with our clients and then we'll take the next appropriate course of action.
Thank you.
Yes.